The rain poured over the dimly lit streets of Blackwood City as Hannah Moore walked alone, her heels clicking on the wet pavement. She wasn't going home, not yet. Tonight was the night she would end the game they started. A year ago, Hannah had been the rising star at Davenport and Cross, one of the city's most prestigious marketing firms. Her campaigns were innovative, her ideas unmatched. But success comes with enemies, and for Hannah, those enemies came in the form of her best friend, Claire, and her charming but cunning boss, Marcus Davenport. She had trusted them both. Claire had been like a sister to her, someone she could share secrets with over wine. Marcus was her mentor, the one who promised to promote her to creative director. But in one swift move, they destroyed her. It happened on the night of the biggest pitch of her career. Hannah had spent weeks perfecting it, every slide, every line of copy, every piece of data. But when the day came, Claire presented her work as her own. Marcus sat there smiling, as if this betrayal was all part of the plan. And when Hannah spoke up, she was branded unstable and unprofessional. Within a week, she was fired. The company's official statement called it a mutual separation. But Hannah knew the truth. They had stolen her work, her career, and her reputation. For months, she stayed quiet. She moved into a tiny apartment, worked a low-level job at a cafe, and watched from the shadows as Claire and Marcus thrived. But in silence, she was plotting. She started gathering information, small pieces at first. Late-night visit to the firm's dumpsters yielded shredded documents, which she carefully pieced together. Fake LinkedIn accounts let her connect with employees who complained about Marcus's shady dealings. A USB drive, accidentally left behind by a careless intern, gave her access to confidential files. And then she found it, the key. An offshore account, cleverly hidden under shell companies, where Marcus had been siphoning client funds for years. Claire, ever the opportunist, had helped him cover it up. Hannah's plan was simple, but devastating. The night before the firm's annual gala, she sent an anonymous email to every major client, attaching proof of Marcus and Claire's fraud. She also sent it to the board of directors, the Internal Revenue Service, and, just for fun, the local press. But she wasn't done. At the gala, held in a glittering ballroom, Marcus and Claire were all smiles, dressed in designer clothes, sipping champagne. The room was buzzing with praise for the unstoppable duo. Hannah arrived uninvited, wearing a sleek black dress that shimmered under the lights. Claire saw her first, nearly spilling her drink. "What are you doing here?" she hissed. Hannah smiled, a calm, cold smile. "Just here to watch the show." It began subtly, clients' phones buzzing, confused whispers spreading across the tables. Then one man stood up, his voice loud enough to silence the music. "Marcus, would you like to explain this?" He held up his phone, the damning evidence on full display. Within minutes, the room descended into chaos. Marcus tried to deny it, but more phones lit up, more voices demanded answers. Claire turned pale, shaking as people began to realize she was just as guilty. Security escorted them both out. Before the police arrived, the press was already waiting outside. Cameras flashed, microphones shoved forward, the words, fraud, embezzlement, and betrayal, filling the air. Hannah stood in the corner, watching it all unfold, her heart pounding, not with guilt, but with satisfaction. By the end of the week, Davenport and Cross was finished. Clients pulled out, the board dissolved the company, and Marcus and Claire faced criminal charges. The industry that had once praised them now tore them apart. As for Hannah, she didn't just want revenge, she wanted her life back. She used her evidence and industry contacts to land a new position at a rival firm. This time, she was more careful about who she trusted. On her first day, she walked into her new office, sunlight streaming through the tall windows, and allowed herself a small smile. She hadn't just survived, she'd won, and in the quiet of her mind, she whispered the words she'd been waiting to say for a year. Checkmate.